If one text that says "Good morning, beautiful" can make your entire day feel possible, but 6 hours of silence after it can make you spiral, check your phone 40 times, and reread your own message looking for a typo you didn't make, this is not you being too sensitive. This is your nervous system running a program it installed without ever asking your permission. Here's what almost nobody tells you about mixed signals. They are not random. They are not accidental. And in most cases, they are not even personal. There is a hidden mechanism behind hot and cold behavior, and once you understand it, you will never be able to unsee it in your own life again. Scientists discovered this mechanism almost 100 years ago. Not by studying couples, by studying pigeons and slot machines. And what they found explains why a confusing text can feel more addictive than a clear one. It's called a variable reward. Your phone buzzing with an unpredictable message activates the exact same part of your brain as a jackpot on a casino floor. Your brain genuinely cannot tell the difference between the two. Here's the twist that makes this so hard to escape. If someone texted you "Good morning" every single day at 8 a.m. like clockwork, your brain would get used to it fast. It would feel nice, but it would stop feeling urgent. Predictable affection is calm. But if that same person disappears for 2 days, then suddenly sends something sweet at midnight, your brain does not relax. It lights up. Dopamine floods your system, not because the message itself was special, but because you had no idea if it was ever coming. This is the part that explains everything. It's why the confusing ones are almost impossible to forget, while the consistent ones get taken for granted. It sounds backwards. It feels unfair. But it isn't bad luck. It's biology. And biology doesn't care about your heart. And there's a second chemical hiding in this story that almost nobody mentions. Oxytocin, the bonding chemical, doesn't spike during the exciting part. It spikes during the relief, right after. That crash of relief when the reply finally comes, when they finally text back, when the silence finally breaks, that relief is what your brain quietly starts to crave. You're not addicted to them. You're addicted to the relief of the tension they created in the first place. Now here's what almost nobody talks about. Mixed signals don't all come from the same place. There are 3 completely different sources behind hot and cold behavior, and if you can't tell which one you're actually dealing with, you will spend months misreading the entire situation and blaming yourself for something that was never your fault. The first source is fear. Some people want closeness so badly that it terrifies them, so they get close enough to feel it, panic, and pull back just to breathe. Then the silence makes them miss you, and they come close again. To you, from the outside, it looks like a game. To them, on the inside, it feels like survival. The second source is far less innocent, and this is the one that ruins the most people. Some individuals send mixed signals completely on purpose, because uncertainty keeps you hooked without requiring them to actually give you anything real. No effort, no definition, no commitment, just enough attention dropped in at exactly the right moment to keep you from ever fully walking away. This isn't love. This is a leash with really good timing. And the third source might be the hardest one to accept, because it has nothing to do with them at all. Sometimes the mixed signal is coming from inside your own head. You take their silence and quietly fill in the blanks with a story that was never true, because somewhere along the way, uncertainty started to feel more familiar to you than peace ever did. Here's a strange fact that trips people up every time. All 3 sources can sound almost identical in the actual text message. "I've just been really in my head lately" can come from someone terrified of intimacy, or from someone who knows exactly how well that line keeps you waiting. The words are never the reliable clue. The pattern behind the words is the only thing that ever tells the truth. So, which one is it? Fear, manipulation, or your own imagination running the show behind the scenes? Here's how you actually find out, and the answer is simpler than you'd expect. Stop watching what happens during the warmth, and start watching what happens right after it. A person driven by fear will keep coming back, and over time will stay a little longer each round, even when it clearly scares them to do it. A person who is using the uncertainty against you will vanish the second you ask for something real, like plans, like clarity, like consistency, because those things require them to actually show up. And if the pattern only exists in your imagination, the truth reveals itself the moment you stop checking their last scene at 2 in the morning and start paying attention to how you feel when you're actually with them, not how you feel while waiting on them. Picture this for a second. She gets a text at 11 p.m. 3 words. "Miss you though," no context, no explanation for the 4 days of silence before it. And instantly, all 4 of those days disappear from her memory. The anger is gone. The doubt is gone. All that's left is the rush, and the hope that this time will be different. That rush isn't proof that something real is happening between 2 people. It's proof of exactly how well the pattern is working on her. Notice the small details too, because they matter more than the big ones. The like on your story with no follow-up text. The typing bubble that appears, then disappears 3 separate times. The plan that's always "let's figure it out soon" and never an actual day on the calendar. None of these are accidents. Each one is a tiny hit of uncertainty, spaced out perfectly, keeping the loop alive without ever giving you enough to actually feel secure. Here's the part that changes everything, and I need you to actually sit with this one. The confusion you feel is not evidence of a deep connection. It is evidence that your nervous system has quietly been trained to associate uncertainty with excitement. Somewhere along the way, calm started to feel boring, and chaos started to feel like chemistry. That is not romance. That is a wiring problem. And wiring, unlike people, can actually be changed. And this matters more than you think, because the cost of staying in this loop isn't just heartbreak. It's time. It's the version of you that could have poured her energy into something steady and real, instead of spending it decoding a text message for the 100th time. Every month you stay confused is a month you didn't spend building the peace you actually deserve. Breaking the pattern does not start with them. It starts the moment you catch yourself feeling that stomach-drop urge to check your phone, and you ask yourself one simple question before you act on it. Am I excited right now because this is genuinely good for me, or am I excited because I have no idea what's coming next? That one question, asked honestly, is enough to interrupt the loop before the loop controls you. Maybe the real question was never why do they keep sending mixed signals. Maybe the real question is this: how long have you been mistaking uncertainty for connection? And what would it actually feel like to choose peace over the chase, even just once? Peace won't ever text you at midnight to prove it's real. It just stays. That's the entire difference, and most people don't recognize it until they've lived years inside the other version. Sit with that for a second, because most people scroll past this exact moment and never do. If this made you notice something about your own life that you'd never seen so clearly before, tell me in the comments which of the 3 reasons hit closest to home for you right now. And if you want to know exactly what to say the next time someone runs hot and cold with you, that's exactly what I'm breaking down in the next video.